Yeah.
Everyone, welcome to the Second Chance Show. Today we have Leah here. Leah, she got amazing results, always smiling, but changed her body in about, I want to say 9 or 10 weeks. Leah, tell everybody how this program changed your life, not only in terms of you being more, getting results, but also in terms of getting routines into your life. How did you manage to not only lose the weight, but also changing and shaping up the body as people are going to see? What do you actually did as far as strategy into this program?
Well, for me, it was really important to put a routine in place. So in the beginning, it was maybe a little bit tricky just to figure out what I was going to eat, when I was going to work out. But I just scheduled it in. So the first week was maybe a bit tricky to do it. But then once I had a schedule and just stuck to it, then it was pretty easy to follow, because I don't know, if you put something in your calendar, like this is my time to work out, or this is my time to go shopping, and this is my time to cook something, it's a lot easier. And I think what changed as well was that I I when I started, and started at first, I started to feel I had more energy, and the more energy I had, the easier it was to keep going. So yeah, I think the biggest change for me actually was the amount of energy I had after.
Mm-hmm.
It only really took maybe 2 or 3 weeks before I really noticed that I had a lot more energy than before, and I was sleeping a lot better. And because I was sleeping better, I was more focused during the day and able to do more during the day.
So this was the exercise making you sleep better? That's what you're saying, or it was just you getting the better food into your into your body, the combination of exercising and also what was the key to better sleep and obviously getting more energy and more productive in the day?
I think it was a combination of both, because I had some really bad habits, just eating like sugar and getting through the day with sugar and caffeine, and
Oh yeah.
yeah, and just eating whatever was in the canteen without even really knowing what it was. So I think it was a combination of both, because then I started to eat more green things and more fresh food. But also with the exercise, because I also had this, I wanted to move a lot more, so I was trying to reach my 10,000 steps a day. So I would go outside and get fresh air and feel refreshed but tired
Mm-hmm.
at nighttime, so it was easier to fall asleep. I'm not sure whether it was the food or the exercise or both. I think a combination of both.
Yeah, that's great. What was the main problem or something that you were struggling with before starting the program? Like everybody has an identity, something that they say to themselves. Your body obviously didn't reflect who you are inside. Like that's the every time I see somebody changing so quickly, obviously it's the body reacting, but also it's you doing the work, right? And in order for you to do the work, you need not to be so happy where you are in the beginning with. So what was your main struggle or your main symptoms you had before starting the program? What made you want to change?
Um, well, I had developed a lot of really bad habits. Like I had a really stressful time with I moved countries and I had to change jobs and twice in a year, and it was really stressful. But what happened was I ended up in a really bad routine of working and then just eating whatever junk was there and then falling asleep, but not really sleeping very well. So I just was tired all the time, and it really changed my mood. Like it really kind of brought me into a negative space of like thinking like, oh, everything is terrible, like my life is so, not that my life was bad, but just that I wasn't happy, like
Yeah.
just like oh, another day, okay, oh great, like really uninspiring, and really like felt like
Yeah.
I was in a rut.
Not
And
fulfillment really. Like we're not like really feeling like you achieved anything. Like
yeah,
that
exactly,
was
like I was just going through the day but not really living through the day, if that makes sense. Like I was just existing.
yeah.
And yeah, really, obviously it didn't feel very nice, and I wasn't like that kind of that's not really who I am. It just sort of happened over time, because just because I was stressed out and moving around, and all of my previous routines and habits were just disappeared.
Yeah,
And
excellent.
I think that what this program gave me, first of all, something to do to change it, because I was kind of in a cycle where had no energy. I wanted to change something but didn't have the energy or the motivation to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And with this program, I had the accountability first. I had a plan, first of all. I had something that I could follow, that I could do to change it. And then I also had the accountability with having a group and with having to post things regularly. And then also the support as well. When you see other people doing the same thing that you're doing and they're getting results, it's also like really nice to,
Yeah.
really motivating to follow, to to do it as well.
We kind of like crack the code a little bit, as people think, the information is what you need, the perfect strategy. If it would be about information, there would be a lot less diet to choose from. Like we wouldn't have 50 diets. It comes down to having a strategy that is the right for you, having support, like seeing, like you said, other people succeeding, so you want to kind of like catch up, and then building those healthy habits in there. And that's why I feel like you've been so successful. How have you been? Because I'm saying this purely because I know what answer should really come, but it's like, how did you make this happen since this thing is online? Because most people say, oh, unless I have like a real person training me, I cannot do it. So it comes really from people wanting to change, but like, what was your driver? How did you make it happen in such a small period of time? Because like, when I saw your results after 8 weeks, you can almost going from your stomach is bloated to almost seeing close, very, very flat. You start seeing close to the abs. So how did you do it in such a small period of time?
I don't know really. I just stuck to it. I mean, like what really worked for me was that it kind of goes step by step. In the beginning, you don't have to worry about it. Oh, can I eat this potato or this potato, or am I allowed to eat this food or that food? Like, it's really simple, and and then you kind of you build on the skill set over time. So it's much easier to stick to it. And I think that was probably the difference, because whenever I did a fitness program before, I wouldn't really find it easy to stick to, or I'd find it really much more stressful to stick to, because there are a bunch of rules and you can't have this and can't do that. And I think that made the fact that there was no kind of restrictions, or few restrictions. You just had to watch what you're eating and make sure that you have less energy in than energy goes out. That was
basically stick to the calorie plan.
Yeah. And it made it really simple for me to stick to it, and because I could still enjoy myself. I wasn't like, when I say enjoy myself, I could have dinner with friends without ruining my whole plan. And so I never had that kind of like, I never really had any guilt or shame associated with it, which made me inclined to stick to it. Like, I think sometimes if you think you've broken your plan, then you feel guilty about it. Then you do something else, and then you think, oh, I've ruined it now. I might as well not do it anymore.
Yeah, it's like that's like you're describing what binge eating is really all about. Like, people, they will go over their calorie with an apple or with a cookie, and then it's like, oh my god, I just messed up the whole week now, or the whole day right now. I just might well eat, right? And it's no such a thing, because like your body really detects everything you're doing with him. And it's like, if you that 3,000-4,000 calories that you're gonna put in after, because you feel like you're guilty because of doing that, that's gonna be an additional at the end of the month. So it's kind of like, if you mess up for like 100 calories, who cares? It's like, but I like the way you think, because it's kind of like saying you are very, like, your psychology is very kind of like safe, and it's like saying you don't feel anything after. It's like no shame, no guilt. Whatever you take you take and you do is a fact, and you did it, and you need to get better. So if you understand that you get better every day, every week, that's the key to success. It's not about doing miracles. It's not about doing, I have to stick to all these rules by the end of the week or the month. It's about doing that this week better than last week. Basically, that is always like that. And in general, it will come out all the time. So that's why I feel like everybody is really successful in this program. They have their way they cope with this thing, and like the way they put up the strategy according to their lifestyle is the successful part. So what was for you the most impactful thing? It was like the support of the group. It was us as coaches always being very responsive. It was the website itself. Which one gave you the most, or if any?
I would say the group probably the most, because everyone's really nice and really supportive and really helpful, and like you can see it if somebody puts up like, oh, I'm having a problem, or people are very quick to reply with support or suggestions, or like, oh, hey, I found these nice recipes somewhere, like you can try them. And it's nice seeing other people's results too, like it's motivating to keep going.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think probably the group, the group was probably the most, or at least it was the thing that kept me connected to it the most.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Excellent. So
I probably would have been a lot slower.
The last thing that I want you to kind of like do or say, or what is interesting for me to hear, how would you motivate people to actually start? A lot of people are on the fence. They will see you and other people's successes. They will see this interview and they will say, oh yes, it might be the difference maker between understanding that this program really works, not because it's something like I confine you to something in particular. It's flexibility. So it's kind of like we aim on not getting you to the point B, but kind of like saying, let's make this thing like a lifestyle. So people that maybe want to join and they are similar, maybe like you, that were experiencing stressful life or stressful step, how can you motivate them to take action? A lot of women, maybe such as yourself. What would you say?
I mean, if I was talking to myself this time 3 or 4 months ago, I would ask myself what I was waiting for, because you have to question, like, if there's something that's not going right, how long are you going to let that go on for? Because you don't get that time back again, like, so just start. And I think maybe people have fear about, oh, I don't really have time now because I don't have time to organize a meal plan and a workout structure and everything. But you don't have to, you don't have to overwhelm yourself if you're doing this for the rest of your life. You don't have to overwhelm yourself with everything at once. You can just take one thing, start with that, take the next thing a week later. Because I think the goal is to do it for a life,
absolutely.
But the person you want to be in 6 or 8 or a year or 5 years. So
absolutely.
Just do it. Just start.
Leah, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for the testimonial. It's inspiring for sure, especially when people, see your pictures and everything. Like I see a lot of comments. So that's actually pretty good. Leah, thank you so much for your time. We'll be in touch in the future. I cannot wait to see in the next few months, where you're going to be. Take care and thank you so much.